We can also have a water tap, and if you turn on the valve, the water starts flowing, and you have to hit play, okay, and the water starts flowing. The high position and has a potential energy turn into kinetic energy, and then push this. And of course, we can have a solar panel. Once again, you have to stop this to change your toys, and then. Okay, on our right hand side, usually it's called the load, which means it will consume energy to change it to some other form. So, and if you have a water tank, water is heated up and change it to kinetic energy, and then so on. You can have different loads, and you can have light bulbs, and so if you keep going, so you see, in this case, high potential energy turn the turbine and of the electric generator, and that's electric energy go through the tungsten, the heat, and come out with the light. So remember, there are three things. That's the heat. Heat is usually useless in this case. Of course, it warms up the room. So there's a light energy come out, and the electric energy is turned into lights and heat, thermal energy. All right, you can have different kind of light bulbs, or also the load. And this particular type is the energy efficiency light. It's got fluorescent, compact fluorescent light. So this one, you can tell whether it's more efficient than the other light. The other normal light bulb, which use a hot filament, is called incandescent light, and this one is called compact fluorescent light. Okay, and normally this is supposed to be more efficient. You can look at it and see which one is more efficient. Okay, you can put all the different toys down here to make all different combinations. You can use a solar panel on this side, and of course with solar panel there will be, you have to have a sun on this side. And actually that's part of a puzzle for you to do. Some devices and equipment are compatible, which means work together. Some is incompatible. For example, if you use a water tap and then turn on water on the solar panel, nothing will happen. So then the fan will stop. So that's, and you can, I'm not going to show you everything, but that's for you to play with and just explain how the energy is transformed from one form to another. Just get the idea. In this lab, and basically I go through what you're supposed to do. So you do a bike and power generator and play with it. Then I will ask you questions. For example, what are the three energy forms involved in this experiment? So I just give up an answer here. Chemical energy, okay, the leg pedals this work is equal to the force times distance, so that does work. That process is a process required to transfer chemical energy to mechanical energy, to chemical energy to mechanical energy. And then of course then the mechanical energy over here in this wheel or in this turbine or into the electric energy. So that's the three. So the second question I will not, just fill in the blank. Okay. Next question, water tap and the generator. So think about the potential energy. Okay, a higher location have potential energy. Both potential energy and kinetic energy are mechanical energies. There are other, not everything is mechanical energy. You have electric energy, nuclear energy, light energy, and thermal energy, and all other forms of energy. So you answer all these questions, play with this. And also you have a kettle, and then underneath the stove, you can make it strong and weak, where inside are supposedly are water, and blow this, and water come out at high speed. Steam has kinetic energy, and that just bump. You can think about a water molecule bump into these handles and make it turn counterclockwise, and so on. And also then you can play with different load. Okay, and load, we mean that whenever you say load, it is consuming energy. So you put it kettle, generator, and light bulbs. Play with two different kind of light bulbs. One is called incandescent. Nowadays, you cannot buy this anymore. That's the old form. I think you can still see, which is inside the little wire. Get heated up when electric current going through. And basically, when it heat up and very bright, it's glowing by heating it up. But the other type is like this type. It's a little tube with all this inert gas, say argon gas, some gas. Once you have the inside, the electric current go first generate the UV light. When the UV light going through the argon gas, it generates visible light. We'll talk about that later. But then, and usually we will talk about efficiency, which means if you go pipe electricity into a device, if it only generates heat, but you're supposed to generate light, but if you only generate heat, and then it's not very efficient. Okay, and of course, that's the efficiency idea, is that you have most of the light, as little as thermal energy as possible, generate much more light energy. So you can tell which light bulb is more efficient. You can look at the ratio between the light energy and the thermal energy with the same amount of electric energy injected. So that's the efficiency. Okay, how much light you can generate with the same amount of electricity going in without too much thermal energy or heat come out. And then finally, but actually I didn't show you everything, you can play with all the rest of the equipment, like you have fan, a boiler, a solar panel, and then you have all the combinations. On left hand side is the energy sources, and going through the generator, and on the right hand side basically generate electricity, and the right side is turn the electricity into different functions. Okay, of course, consume electricity, and most useful form of energy is actually electricity, as you can see. So on the right hand side you have all these devices that consume electricity, so to turn into different kind of other form of energy, or turning back to the mechanical energy, heat or light, and so on. On the right hand side you have the energy source like the sun, then the water, and the biker, and the kettle with a stove or chemical energy below. Okay, so, and then the last one, you should create one for the combination of the solar panel with something, and describe it. So this one is like a puzzle, and then that's it. Basically, the conclusion of this lab is that energy have different forms and transform from one form to another, and it never created and never destroyed. And if you look at it, if you simply count some of these come out, okay, let's say each square, each little square is same form of energy. How many things come in and how many things will exactly how many come out. If you see this case, for example, in this case, you swap this back to this, so you count one. So they neither destroyed or created. So no matter how many of the energy goes in, but it change color, but it never change their total number. Okay, it never change the total number. So 1 joules of energy in, 1 joule of energy come out. Okay, or change the form, change to different forms, but the same number. All right. So that's the simple conclusion. Hope you enjoy this. If you have a question, we can always have an offline discussion. Bye bye for now.